Todd Monken is going to leave his post as the offensive coordinator at Georgia to become the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, which means that, in my estimation, Todd Monken is going to have the second best quarterback in the NFL and only the second player ever to win unanimous NFL MVP. That is Lamar Jackson. You'll know that Todd Monken was coordinating an offense that has casually won back-to-back national championships. And frankly, it's not been an easy job, right? Like, that's the thing that I think we need to say about Georgia up front. You need to run an offense that doesn't get on Kirby Smart's nerves, and you need to score 40 a game. Those two things are usually incongruous. You cannot do them because Kirby Smart wants to run the damn ball. Matter of fact, at Georgia, they sell hats that say, run the damn ball, BAWL, and you got to put up 40, and you got to stay out of his defense's way. Todd Monken, first, has a special place in my heart because he went to Southern Miss and flipped that program around. It's my mother's alma mater. It's the first college program that I ever got to see with my own eyes. I had my mother telling me stories about Ray Guy. That's how far back she goes with USM. Graduate in 1976 means I was around for Brett Favre. I was around for Pat Surtain. And I have an interest in the Golden Eagles, so what Todd Monken was able to do for them was very important to me. Also, casually, offensive coordinator at Oklahoma State, got to see what he was capable of doing with Wes Lunt. Now, if you've never heard of Wes Lunt, that underscores my point, all right? He was able to put up 40 a game with Wes Lunt, all right? And or, casually, bringing in a guy like Clint Shelf, another guy you haven't heard of who could throw for 3,040 touchdowns. What I'm saying is he was uniquely positioned to be the offensive coordinator at Georgia, which means he's really good at getting along with guys with big personalities who want to have the ball run the way they want to have it run, and that is Kirby Smart. Now, on the heels of Todd Monken leaving what is the greatest program in the sport today for the Baltimore Ravens, we get news that Kirby Smart is not wasting any time. He has elevated offensive analyst Mike Bobo to the offensive coordinator job. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it is. Shout out to Seth Emerson, who had this over at The Athletic. But I know Bobo as the dude who was the up-and-coming offensive coordinator who ended up Colorado State where it didn't go so well. Okay? Then, casually after that, took a couple of offensive coordinator positions, notably at Auburn, and then at South Carolina, and then as an offensive analyst at Georgia. And I was thinking to myself, why does a guy like that take a job like that at Georgia? And it's because you're in position to be this guy. As a matter of fact, Todd Monken went out of his way to say how much he enjoyed having Mike Bobo on his staffs, even saying that dude was down to do the 22-year-old grunt work of making play cards and doing whatever was necessary because he just wanted to be at Georgia. As a matter of fact, Monken makes a joke that, Kirby had made it his decision, but it wasn't his decision. He knew that Mike Bobo was going to be on that staff because Mike Bobo really wanted to be at Georgia for a second time. This is a guy who groomed David Green, Aaron Murray, and Matthew Stafford while at Georgia. He knows what to do with quarterbacks. And frankly, if Carson Beck is half as good as the folks in Athens would have me believe, he's going to be better than Stetson Bennett. Another guy, not unlike Wes Lunt, that Todd Monken got it done not once, but twice with. Now you're going to give that man a lethal weapon in Lamar Jackson. Can't wait to see what that offense looks like. But I think this also speaks to what Kirby Smart has done for his program and frankly what Mike Bobo is stepping into, because what Mike Bobo is going to be asked to do is exactly what Todd Monken has been doing, which is run the offense that Kirby Smart wants you to run. Now, I am interested to find out just how much creativity Kirby Smart is going to allow in this offense, because offensive coordinator position is a lot like being in the business talent or even more so a producer, I think, because talent's more like quarterback, player, and producer's more like a coordinator, right? Which is to say, you get into this to be creative. You want to put your own spin on things. You understand the box you are working within, but you are going to make some decisions, right? In my job, that's like taking a look at the rundown and or even putting it together, talking about what we're going to do for topics on the show. That is not unlike a game plan for what an offensive coordinator needs to come up with. But if you have plays in there or an entire game plan, perhaps, that doesn't go along with what your executive producer or the person above you wants to go along with, you got a problem. And that's where you could have some clashing of the heads, right? So knowing that Mike Bobo has this experience as an offensive coordinator in the SEC, and knowing that he does like to run this sort of pro-style offense that Kirby Smart really loves, I think it's going to be just fine. I think it's going to go well. He's also got talent out his behind, right? Like, you look at that offensive line, you look at what they return, You know you got another Kendall Milton year. You're going to be okay. Just don't mess up the bus, right? Make sure that the bus gets where it's going on time. But I'm excited for Mike Bobo because it's very clear that he really wanted to be in Athens. He really wants to have this job. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.